Madam Ching Shih, also known as Cheng I Sao, was a prominent pirate in Middle Qing China, who terrorized the China Sea in the early 19th century. She commanded over 300 junks manned by 20,000 to 40,000 pirates, men, women, and even children, though other sources report that she had more than 1,500 vessels of various sizes with a crew upwards of 180,000. She entered into conflict with the existing empires of the time, such as the British, Portuguese and the Qing dynasty. She was one of the few pirate captains to retire from piracy. Ching Shih has been featured in numerous books, novels, video games, and films in Asia. Early life. She was born Shi Zhanggu in 1775 in Guangdong. She was a Cantonese prostitute who worked in a small brothel in Guangzhou, but was captured by pirates. In 1801, she married Cheng I, a notorious pirate. The name she is best remembered by simply means Cheng's widow. Marriage to Cheng I. Cheng I belonged to a family of successful pirates who traced their criminal origins back to the mid-17th century. Following his marriage to Ching Shih, who participated fully in her husband's piracy, Cheng I used military assertion and his reputation to gather a coalition of competing Cantonese pirate fleets into an alliance. By 1804, this coalition was a formidable force, and one of the most powerful pirate fleets in all of China. By this time they were known as the Red Flag Fleet. Ascension to leadership. On the 16th of November 1807, Cheng I died in Vietnam. Ching Shih immediately began maneuvering her way into his leadership position. She started to cultivate personal relationships to get rivals to recognize her status and solidify her authority. In order to stop her rivals before open conflict erupted, she sought the support of the most powerful members of her husband's family, his nephew Chang Pao Yang and his cousin's son Cheng I. Then she drew on the coalition formed by her husband by building upon some of the fleet captains' existing loyalties to her husband and making herself essential to the remaining captains. Since Ching Shih would have such a large force at her command, she knew she needed someone to assist her in managing the Red Flag Fleet's day-to-day operations, but remain loyal to her and be accepted by the low-level pirates. She believed there was only one man for the job, Chung Po Sai. Relationship with Chung Po Sai. Chung Po Sai was the son of a fisherman and had been impressed into piracy at age 15, when he was captured by Cheng I and the two became lovers. Chung rose rapidly through the ranks and was eventually adopted by Cheng I to give him the rights of a son and heir. As soon as Ching Shih chose Chung, she acted quickly to solidify the partnership with intimacy. The two became lovers within weeks and eventually married. Ching Shih gave birth to a son sometime between the ages of 32 and 35 with Chung. Chung Po Sai died at 36, causes unknown. The code. Once she held the fleet's leadership position, Ching Shih started the task of uniting the fleet by issuing a code of laws. The Newman translation of the history of pirates who infested the China Sea claims that it was Chung Po Sai that issued the code. Yuan Yung Lun says that Chung issued his own code of 3 regulations, called San Tiao, for his own fleet, but these are not known to exist in a written form. The code was very strict and, according to Richard Glasspool, strictly enforced. First, anyone giving their own orders or disobeying those of a superior were beheaded on the spot. Second, no one was to steal from the public fund or any villages that supplied the pirates. Third, all goods taken as booty had to be presented for group inspection. The booty was registered by a purser and then distributed by the fleet leader. The original Caesar received 20% and the rest was placed into the public fund. Fourth, actual money was turned over to the squadron leader, who only gave a small amount back to the Caesar, so the rest could be used to purchase supplies for unsuccessful ships. According to Philip Morn, the punishment for a first-time offense of withholding booty was severe whipping of the back. Large amounts of withheld treasure. Subsequent offenses carried the death penalty. Ching Shih's code had special rules for female captives. Standard practice was to release women, but J.L. Turner witnessed differently. Usually the pirates made the most beautiful captives the concubines or wives. If a pirate took a wife, he had to be faithful to her. The ones deemed unattractive were released, and any remaining were ransomed. Pirates that raped female captives were put to death, but if pirates had consensual sex with captives, the pirate was beheaded and the woman he was with had cannonballs attached to her legs and was thrown over the side of the boat. Violations of other parts of the code were punished with flogging, clapping in irons, or quartering. Deserters of those who had left without official permission had their ears chopped off, and then were paraded around the squadron. Glasspool concluded that the code gave rise to a force that was intrepid in attack, desperate in defense, and unyielding even when outnumbered. Korea, the fleet under her command established hegemony over many coastal villages, in some cases even imposing levies and taxes on settlements. According to Robert Anthony, Ching Shih robbed towns, markets, and villages, from Macau to Canton. The Red Flag Fleet under Ching Shih's rule could not be defeated, not by Qing dynasty Chinese officials, not by the Portuguese Navy, and not by the British. But in 1810, amnesty was offered to all pirates, and Ching Shih took advantage of it. She ended her career that year, accepting an amnesty offer from the Chinese government. She kept her loot, and opened a gambling house. She died in 1844, at the age of 69.